This video is dedicated to James Humphreys. James, thank you. Lord Skitter versus Sidar Kondo and Togo. Half decent hand, so we'll keep it. And we're on the draw into a swamp, so wait for a turn 2 rat colony, I think. Should be curving out quite nicely this game. Now turn 2 play from our opponent. We draw into another rat colony, so let's get one of those down. Togo Goblin Weaponsmith is the first commander to hit play. And it's another swamp for us, so we can definitely get down everything into a Thrumming Stone. So if we go Lord Skitter now, get our Wrath protection down in Yawgmoth next turn, that means that we'll be able to get down Thrumming Stone the turn after on turn 5 and actually have some rat colonies to play into it. So Lord Skitter making a rat token. There is nothing in any graveyard to exile. It does buff our rat colony up to a 4-1 though, so we'll get the 10 turn clock on them. The first rock made for our opponent, so might be worth getting rid of the Togo so that he doesn't have anything to equip to. We'll have another rat token sacrifice next turn, assuming that we keep our commander. Alright, that is a Garabor Ether Grid. Tap 2 and tap artifacts you control to deal 1 damage to any target. Alright, going after the rat colony makes perfect sense there. But clear that that's our opponent's aim. Definitely want to get rid of the Togo in that case. There's an Ancient Tomb, so can easily get down the Thrumming Stone. No need to play it here though. Lord Skitter has another token enter. And that is a crop rotation from our opponent, so I'm not sure what he's going to be able to do if we allow this land to enter now. Yeah, let's try our luck. Allowing a Windswept Heath into play makes another rock token, and then cracking it makes another rock token. So they went after a point of damage onto our rat token there, sacrificed it, put a minus counter on the Togo. Now we get another rat token into play, exile their crop rotation, and we have allowed them into more rocks here, but I've been having players scoop on me all day, so I'm just hoping that they don't scoop on us here. Attacking with the Lord Skitter. It's the reason that I allowed the landfall into play is what I meant. Alright, they've got more removal in the form of a generous gift, so gets us an elephant token. They've got a Field of the Dead as well, 2 cards left in hand. And there is a rat colony, so go for the Thrumming Stone, ready for the Jet Medallion and a bunch of 1-mana rat colonies next turn. Just have to hope that we can overwhelm our opponent, because obviously you'll be able to deal 1 damage to each of them. So we will exile the generous gift from our opponent's graveyard, and then go through and attack for 6 on our opponent thanks to the 2/3/3s. And then it was 1 damage onto the rat token on the way out. So Togo back into play again. I assume our opponent's going to be making landfall. Makes 1 land, so 1 extra rock token. And now let's see if our opponent can keep up with a Thrumming Stone. That is a swamp. Go Ancient Tomb into the Jet Medallion, makes our black spells cost 1 less. And not much point in rippling with a single Jet Medallion being in the deck. So it can be Rat Colony, ripple 4. Gets us into 3 more rat colonies, so I don't think they'll be able to keep up here. Each of the cards that we cost from ripple also has ripple. So there's every chance that we get every rat colony in the deck out here. Get a couple more. So 2 more on the stack that we just cast. We will ripple to our heart's content here. Whiff on that one. But there's 2 more on this one. Now we don't have any means of haste, so if our opponent does have a board wipe, then he may well be able to deal with us here, especially if we've just stripped our deck of rat colonies. But have to try here. It's a bit of a glass cannon commander. Our first rat colony enters, so we'll definitely have all the graveyard exiled by the time this is done. And in response, the Ether Grid is going to blow up a rat colony, currently on a 1/3, but we're nowhere near done here. And then another one dealt with. Alright, my opponent seems to have lost connection to the game now, which I haven't played against this player before, I don't think, so I'm not sure if that's an honest disconnection or not, or if he's just scooped it up without conceding. So we'll wait it out and see if our opponent decides to show up again. Well, it looks as though he's not going to show up again, and this is why I've been going easy on my opponents. Like I said, we shouldn't have let the extra rocks into play. That could have been detrimental to the outcome of the game, but our opponent only played it out until he felt as though he didn't have a chance here, and that's what I've been experiencing throughout this play session. So yeah, making suboptimal plays in order to try and make a game out of it. It's unfortunate, but that's just the way we have to do it sometimes. Alright, yeah, just been kicked out into the lobby straight away as our opponent timed out. We'll try to get a real game in. Playing against Zuladok this time, and yeah, Skullclamp might be able to keep us in it. It depends on how fast our opponent is. I'll assume that our opponent's going to go really fast with fast mana to start off with. We are in the 1v1 games. 1/3 of Tron assembled in Urza's power plant. Alright, a Cavern of Souls. We'll just concentrate on the swamps. I don't think we need to worry about spot removal on the Skullclamp, so we'll save ourselves some mana. Get it down now. Then a Reliquary Tower we draw into Demonic Tutor. So yeah, not sure what I want to tutor for yet. We'll just go for the Rat Colony into our commander next turn. Then we can see if we want to start looking at Skullclamps. We'll try and do something different other than the ripple effect this time. Not seeing any ramp from our opponent, which is always a blessing. I was expecting Grim Monoliths and Mana Vaults and all that on turn 1. So we get down the Sewer King, nothing to exile. But again, we've managed to buff the Rat Colony on turn 3 to a 4/1 and turning sideways. I think maybe going for Demonic Tutor into Necropotent should be fine. That way we get to keep the rat tokens. The first piece of ramp is a Warm Power Stone, comes in tapped. So at 6 mana, our opponent's on, should be able to get down the Zuladok next turn. Alright, there's a Jeweled Lotus. We already have our commander in place, so don't need to worry about that. Just go for a swamp into another Rat Colony. And then another rat token from the commander. So now we can deal 10 damage to our opponent. The Rat Colony is a 6/1. And yeah, I'm thinking Necropotents at the moment, so we don't have to sacrifice our rats to the Skullclamp. Maybe Grave Pact would be a better idea to keep the Eldrazi out of play. And then we're killing 2 birds with 1 stone. We're drawing cards and getting rid of their stuff. Yeah, go for Grave Pact. This way, even if they manage to wipe the board with a Nevermell's Disc or something like that, we should easily be able to get out our Lord Skitter with the Jeweled Lotus. And hopefully still have the Skullclamp in play. Nevermell's Disc would blow that up, but you know what I mean. Alright, so out comes the commander. Don't think that's going to last too much longer. Into another swamp is fine. Play that. Play the Grave Pact. And we'll just clamp one of the rat tokens now. Don't really need to worry about summoning sickness and all that. So that draws us 2, deals with the Zuladok straight away. And yep, our opponent scoops. That was a pretty slow start for an Eldrazi deck, but I dare say that with us having Skullclamp and Grave Pact, I'm not sure they would have been able to keep up anyway. There aren't too many Eldrazi that they can get out quickly enough for a Grave Pact. We'll try one more, playing against Killian now. And, well, there's that Thrumming Stone again. Should be able to make use of Village Rites, hopefully, so yeah, this looks half decent. We're on the draw again. Turn 2 commander in Killian, as you would expect. And there's a swamp, so play that out straight away into the Rat Colony. Likely ready for the Lord Skitter again next turn. And we've got a couple of auras now. Dub is +2/+2 on first strike, and then it is +1/+1 on pro creatures, so this already a 5/5, which I doubt we're going to be able to outrace. Another swamp for us, so I've got 4 of those available now. Let's go for our commander. And yeah, it might be that we get into the Grave Pact again or something like that. Maybe some means of spot removal. So turning sideways for 4 yet again. Now it says Sage's Reverie, so our opponent jumps up to 7 again. And it's 8 commander damage that we look to take here. Playing an Evolving Wild, so that will be a tap land. So we'll go up to 13 points of commander damage, and it's all reliant on this next draw, really. Because we do stand to lose already next turn. Just another Rat Colony. Drop a swamp. We'll go for sacrificing a rat token straight away. And yeah, just more Rat Colonies, so nothing we're going to do here. Just play a Rat Colony and wait for our demise. Down to 5 cards in hand, and we go up against another really powerful Aura's commander in Light Paws. Our opponent doesn't have to buff the Killian up anymore. He's got lethal on us. There's Isildur's Fateful Strike going after our commander. So we have to exile a couple of Rat Colonies. And then turning sideways, and that is us done. So yeah, I got some quick games in there. Not sure if anyone's still interested in Lord Skitter at this point. I'm not sure if anyone ever was, to be honest. I think it'll be November until the next set comes out, a few weeks into November, so we've got a few free periods in which we can get some different commanders going, maybe some older ones in the mix as well, so you'll have to let me know what you want to see in the comments section, and a massive thank you to the patrons for their financial support as ever. I'm tribalkai. Thank you for watching.